Here we have lovers of the tarot and beautiful soul healing people. We have the Knight of Cups reversed, and well, the Knights are that part of us that's willing to go out there on our horses and share the message of, in this case, the cup, which is the message of sensitivity and love and dreams and all of our desires and all of how we feel inside. And this Knight is pretty good at it normally. He's definitely got that energy and confidence and willingness to be vulnerable and openness to share, to use his sensitivity and empathy in a beautiful way. But when he's reversed like this, when he's upside down, there is usually a little bit of resistance to embody this part of ourselves. So it's a resistance that comes up as, and it can be seen as, an inhibition to share our feelings, a fear to go out there and be seen emotionally and be seen sensitively or empathetically. And there's quite often a self-judgment involved in that fear and in that resistance, where we judge our emotions as being weak, etc. And there's a fear of consequently how the world around us is going to be judging us, because those type of judgments mirror each other, inner and outer. There is also this dynamic where, because we're afraid or because we resist in actually expressing ourselves, we no longer become the guide of the horse, and it's the horse that kind of flows us, pushes us, walks us through life, and the horse representing that more animalistic, instinctive, and learned nature, or raw nature, which is, sometimes okay, and sometimes it's going to guide us towards the wrong places. Why? Because the horse won't always follow what are our deepest heartfelt desires. It'll just work on fear instincts and work on fight and flight survival type dynamics instead of really following our dreams. So the Knight normally is very aware of his dreams, of what he wants and what he loves and what he truly desires. But this reverse Knight, because he's repressing some of his feelings, is also repressing his desires and his needs and his what he wants to go out there in the world and do and share. And so he lets himself be guided by the horse, and this card is kind of asking us to take the reins a little bit, reconnect with how we feel, reconnect with our ability just simply know what we really want, and to be willing to take the steps consciously, guide ourselves, guide our bodies, guide our horse to take us more directly towards where it is we want to go, towards what are our true dreams. This is part of this reverse Knight. Another quality comes out that when this Knight is reversed, because he's sharing, he's still the emotional sharer. He's still the guy who's going out there and sharing a message, but his message might be a little bit twisted. There might be a little lack of ownership of the way he feels. He may well blame his emotional state or his living state, his life in general. He might blame his circumstances upon the world on the outside, and so that message then becomes a very twisted message. Like he's saying, you are responsible for the way I feel. No, you are, and you are, and you are. And because of all these circumstances out there in the world, how can I be expected to share something that's true to my heart when the world isn't true to its heart, and we're failing to own our own emotional responsibility. We're failing to take responsibility for how we are and who we are. And so this is another slightly immature way that this sharing of feelings that this Knight naturally has comes about or is reflected in the world. Another twisted way that this Knight can share his feelings is mean, he's a lover boy in very much, in many ways, and so because he's connected to his feelings, his ego might own that connection, and we might find ourselves throwing out into the world some ego versions of, hey, look how sensitive and emotional and loving I am, right? And that sort of need to be seen as this loving knight, this I don't know, this Casanova Gigolo type character is the ego owning our sensitivity and owning our ability to feel and our ability to sense the vibration of the world around us, and accommodate the emotions of everybody inside of our close vicinity. But with an ego nature to it becomes our identity, to the point where we might brag about it. We might depend upon that as being as defining who we are, and that definition actually will limit our honest expression of our feelings, and will show a certain amount of dishonesty in the way we feel, not necessarily by being complete liars or dishonest people, but because we, for whatever reason, we have learned to be dishonest with ourselves about the way we feel. And there may have been compensation, there may have been different reasons why we have acquired this personality, and they may be very valid in many ways, and yet they've become a part of the way we think we need to be, instead of just being more true and more honest. And our vulnerability tends to be masked, or our vulnerability tends to be used sometimes in ways to manipulate our environment, instead of just be an open, honest expression of self. There's also more stories. There's many more stories to this night, but one of them is also that because he represses and he resists quite often the way he feels and how he is emotionally, this resistance is often accompanied by some type of addiction into to food, to scrolling through social media, to drugs and alcohol. They're big ones, and these addictions are ways that we can avoid being honest with our feelings. We can avoid feeling the way we do by naturally just sitting with ourselves and feeling how we are, and recognizing and owning those feelings. Instead, we'll just distract ourselves with all these different addictions, and these addictions might feel good because they are distracting us from maybe negative feelings that we don't want to feel, maybe traumas that we don't want to revisit, and at the same time we disconnect from our whole range of beautiful emotional expressions as well. And then our emotional expression, again, this is another form of self-deception and lying to ourselves. And so this card asks us to step in, ask ourselves to follow our dreams, ask ourselves to express those dreams, to express our emotions in vulnerable ways, but to be aware of that when the ego is becoming involved, and to be aware of the fear that is behind, and the self-judgment that is behind a lot of this repression and this resistance to share what is fundamentally this night's greatest gift, and that is a higher, truer, more altruistic version of love and connection with the world. Have a fantastic day. Love to hear your comments, and enjoy a little bit of this night energy. I hope you can feel into this and see if this reversal helps you in some way.